Hey, what's up, my little TisaTellss? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if your name is King Charles, you have declared all-out war on Archie. Y'all, if you guys don't know what's going on, Archie and Harry, Meghan, they've been engaged in a game of chess. William's thinking he's engaged in a game of chess, but he's been playing checkers because Camilla outsmarted him, and he's only going to have a small role in the coronation, and none of the kids. Why Camilla's kids, who might be Charles's, he loves them like he's his own kids, better than his own kids, actually are going to be front and center at the coronation. Go watch my other videos if you want some backstory on that. Let's get into this tea. They removed Archie's name from the royal website. Archie's profile on the royal website has quietly been removed. Lilibeth never had a website. Sorry, I'm so excited. I'm tripping over my words. Lilibeth never had it. They never added her to the royal website. Even though he's been added to the line of succession, his profile has been removed as of a few hours ago. Y'all, I said it once and I said it again. That's one thing I can say about Charles. He always tells you his plan like an evil villain, and then he takes 20 years to set it off. They are saying that Charles is doing this to hold this over Harry's head so that they will come to the coronation. To which I say it would still be done for them to come to the coronation, because even if they did and they promised that they would put Archie and Lilibeth up and even wish him a happy birthday, the next year they would take away everything that they promised. So at the end of the day, you've shown that you will be a liar and a coward. So what are we really doing here? Y'all, let's get into this article because I cannot believe this. I just can't. It is unbelievable to me. Okay. They're saying Archie's profile disappears from the royal family website just weeks after his title was updated to Prince. They say Archie Harrison's profile has vanished from the royal family website. Meghan and Prince Harry's son had his own profile on the royal family website, however, that cannot currently be found. The royal family recently updated the Duke and Duchesses of Sussex's son's title to Prince Archie of Sussex under the succession section of their website. However, the profiles of George, Charlotte, and Louis all remain up on the family website. Now, Meghan and Harry's pages are also intact. Lilibeth never had a profile created for her. It comes as royal commenters claim that Meghan and Prince Harry's decision to use the Prince and Princess titles for the children literally messed up King Charles' plan for a streamed-down monarchy. Charles doesn't want a slimmed-down monarchy. Charles hates his family. He hates the children of Diana. This is my opinion, right? You don't like your family. You don't like your children because Camilla's kids are about to become working royals and they are featured in the coronation. There's going to be a royal family. It's just not going to be by blood anymore. Now, Meghan and Harry's children holding Prince and Princess titles will result in the royal family not being as streamlined as Charles intended. So does this mean Charlotte, George, Louis, all this stuff, they're not going to have titles either when they get older? This is stupid. The new titles for Archie and Lilibeth also made it difficult for King Charles not to grant the Duke of Edinburgh title to his brother Edward. Now, here is what I'm actually getting at, because this was actually a skillful play, but it's still a stupid play because, let me just get into this, okay? Charles finally gave Edward and Sophie the Duke of Edinburgh's title. However, he said that once Edward and Sophie passed away, those titles will revert back to the crown. No one's ever done this with somebody that's been in the direct line of succession. People thought it was stupid and that Charles was trying to say an F you to Sophie and Edward, and he was, because it was cold-blooded, but he had a bigger plan, and he's going to use Edward and Sophie as his plans, as their pawns, and they're so thirsty, they'll go with it, because what else do they have except for kissing butt and scampering after Will, Kate, now Camilla, and Charles? Think about it, you guys. I'm sure you already figured out, but think about it. Charles set a new precedent saying that if you have a title and if you are not king or prince or, prince to be, then titles will now revert back to the crown. Do you see what's going on? Archie and Lily will always be a prince and princess. They're by blood. But the titles, the Duke of Sussex, the Duchess of Sussex, Charles is setting up that those titles will revert back to the crown when the parents pass away, so that Archie and Lilibeth never have royal titles. All they'll have is prince and princess. And Charles is going to make that title irrelevant. Now, he did say that he was even going to change the charter papers, the Magna Charta papers, so that they can be pushed out the line of succession completely and will not be considered prince and princesses. But he's not going to do that the year that his coronation is coming up. I'm sure he's going to do that after he is coronated, because he doesn't need that PR storm. It is diabolical. It is messy. It is mean. It is manipulative. It is everything that we expect from Charles. But you know what? It is also incredibly stupid and short-sighted, which is exactly what we expect from Charles. You guys, why is that? Seriously, think about it. Literally. I'm sure you guys have figured out. What's up, Sussex Squad, by the way? I'm sure you guys have figured it out, Sussex Squad, because this is the checkmate that Harry holds. And this is the checkmate that they should be worried about. Harry knows at the end of the day, no matter what he does to them, they cannot pull away the title of a blood prince that is one of the only two sons of the king. Someone that came from aristocratic blood, the Spencers, and with King Charles. You can't do that. Why? I mean, I'm sure they can do anything they want, but why is that a dumb move? Because everything with the royals are smoke and mirrors. Once you show that blood has nothing to do with it, it has to do if you're a working royal. But once you say working royal, you're on a slippery slope. Because if you are a working royal, what happens when the people don't like the work you do? What happens when the people are throwing eggs at you in the street? What happens when the people are in a housing crisis, a heating crisis, an energy crisis, an economic crisis? And they say, it's not fair. You have so much for doing so little. What happens when people are so broke in your country that they say a life of service? Charles, you don't live a life of service. I have been compensated quite handsomely for your time and your sacrifice with mansions, cars, boats, helicopters. Think about it. That's not a life of service. What are y'all talking about? Life of service is someone working at Goodwill on the weekends, and then during the week they work at Walgreens, Boots, or Dwayne Reed. That's a life of service. When you are actually sacrificing your personal gain for someone else. The royal family has been compensated. But what happens when somebody points out your service is no longer needed? We don't like the service you do. We don't need you showing up to food banks empty-handed. We don't need you coming to charities, mumbling speeches, sounding a GD mess. We don't need you doing that. You suck at it. We have somebody else. We're going to get celebrities to come. And guess what? They'll do it for free. And they might even donate. They might even donate some money. You guys are billionaires showing up at food banks empty-handed? Yeah. So what happens when people actually say, well, if it's not destined by blood, because you just proved it's not ordained by God, then what are we really doing? Do we really need you guys? And that's the rub, and that's what Charles doesn't see. Charles, you had to cancel his visit to France because they were literally writing in graffiti, Charles, do you remember the guillotine? The French democratically elect president was like, it's not a good look right now for us to have blood royals, people that get entitlement from birth just because they are so-called ingrained by blood. See, this is the thing that Charles doesn't realize. And this is how, at the end of the day, two things are going to happen. Archie and Lilibeth are going to be treated with the respect they deserve. Or, and I doubt that's going to happen because they are so evil. And they don't want, in my opinion, they don't want any children that don't descend from that blue bloodline, okay? But my whole point of the matter is, and this is the scary part, or it should be for them, that's the only two things can happen. They get the respect they deserve, or everybody goes down. As much as the royals hate Harry and Meghan, they are bound to Harry. And Harry's fate will be their fate. It'll just come 2 or 3 years down the road. Think about it. They wanted Harry to be scorned, to be laughed at, to be mocked, to not be considered anything important. What happened to William and Kate, 3 years later? They want Harry to be hated and vilified by the public. No respect, you do nothing to contribute. That's now happening to the royal family. If they snatch away Lilibeth and Archie's titles, if they try to disappear them, if they try to punish Harry and Meghan, saying your titles will revert back to the crown. See, they think they outsmarted everyone. Will revert back to the crown upon the king's death. And that way they'll ensure that those children who have an American divorce, mixed race mother, will never, ever, ever be considered anything real but an abomination, right? An abomination of something that Harry, who hated the monarchy, did to destroy the monarchy. History won't be kind to them, but also, for God's sakes, read the effing room, Charles. Read the effing room. You are on thin sand, and the minute you show that titles can be yanked away, blood princes don't need to be respected, blood children, then why won't we just rip your titles away? Because at the end of the day, Charles, what do? Open Tesco's and Waitress? You're a symbol of everything that is no longer in style. You're not cool. You're not hip. You're not inviting. You show up for food. Your progeny, your son and your do-nothing daughter-in-law show up at food banks empty-handed. What do? You're a symbol for a dying nation, or at least that version of the nation. You're a symbol of oppression. You're a symbol of colonialism. You're a symbol of everybody moved to the back of the bus. You are a dinosaur. And now we walk on land where dinosaurs have fallen. We use their bones for oil. What do you think's going to happen to this once great monarchy? You guys, I don't mean to be dramatic. I mean, yeah, I do. Because, I love a flair for dramatic. But Sussex Squad, this is the dumbest move they can do. But it looks like they're going to do it. And the fact that they think that this is going to bully Harry and Meghan into showing up for the coronation, kill two birds with one stone. If they show up, then we'll just take it away later and we can be cruel. And if they don't show up, we'll take it away earlier. Y'all, listen, they have got to be the dumbest people I've ever seen or heard from in my life. But you know what? That's why this is so fun. Again, Diana, here's the thing. Everybody said Diana messed up the monarchy. That's impossible. Camilla's the one that made the fatal blow to the monarchy. Camilla's the one. And she's still the one that's taken that monarchy down. They keep looking at Harry and Meghan. Guys, the call is coming from inside the house. Anyway, my little TisaTellss, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.